I'm not even wearing pants right now. Hello, everybody. It's been a little while since I've last spoken to y'all. I've been really busy with work this week. I've been photographing some wrestling shows, and that's been pretty darn cool. But I have finished 3 books. Count them, 1, 2, 3 books since I last saw you guys. And those books have been The Wastelands by Stephen King, Dark Tower book 3. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which was the most fucked up shit I've ever read in my life. And then lastly, we read Dune Messiah, which is what I'll be reviewing today with a little bit of spoilers from the first Dune book. Well, yeah, okay. So, let's get into it without further ado, talking about Dune Messiah. I'm on some fucked up energy today. Let me just pull up my notes here. So where we last left off in Dune, Paul's journey was nowhere near complete. Only his ascension to the throne of Arrakis, and therefore the throne of the universe / galaxy, the known universe. And boy oh boy did this book deliver on what we required as fans to finish Paul's journey, baby. This book deals with a much simpler plot, and it's much, much shorter. It's not this spanning epic of the ages that the first Dune book is. This is a simple assassination plot that we gotta tackle here. Paul Atreides is now on top of the throne. He's running this shit, and well, some people want to kill him. And we see espionage, political intrigue, betrayal, deception, deceit, and all that good stuff that you expect from Frank Herbert's brilliant political writing. Now, on that note, the plot of this book is not very, hefty. It's very, not simple, but straightforward. There's an assassination plot. Whereas Dune, you have so much going on and so many interweaving webs of connectivity and side stories and this and that and so many characters smashing against each other, competing for page time. This one is very, very simple plot. And the plot doesn't even span that long. And the main majority of this book is not even dealing with plot stuff, but Frank Herbert just dunking philosophically on the reader. Getting swishes, getting 3-pointers, getting some Space Jam type shit, okay? And here's the thing. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I liked the book. I'll dare I say I loved the book. But the thing is, at times it was hefty to get through because I was like, nothing's happening. Like, not to sound like a frickin' dullard or something, but I was just like, it slowed down, so my investment and eagerness to read wasn't as urgent. And, yeah. When the plot really slows down like that and it's just philosophical ideas, it loses the urgency is all I'm going to say. Whereas Dune had a high urgency for me because the Harkonnens were coming down. They were going to snatch up Arrakis and it was like a full-on war. Whereas this one is just kind of like, Paul's just chilling. And also, Paul in this book, holy smokes. They're like, yeah, remember that guy Paul Atreides that you loved so much? Yeah, guess what? Politics will conk anyone's moral compass, their ethics, everything is a question to this guy. And we really see the maturity in Paul. Paul goes from boy to man from the time that Dune has passed and Dune Messiah begins. Paul is a freaking man, and this guy has a lot on his plate, a ton on his plate. And sometimes Paul doesn't know how to deal with that, and that's okay. And that's what I really like, because Paul remains a likable character, for me at least, even though he is responsible for this massive jihad going on. Well, if he's responsible. And on that note, I'm going to loop back around to this later. There were some things about this book that I didn't really understand, and they didn't really make sense in my mind, but I'll touch on that in a second, relating to the jihad. Where this book excels is its world building, okay? We see so much more of this massive world that Frank Herbert introduces to us. And there are new races introduced, new species, new cultures, new planets. We learn so much more about the political system. And this book really did a great job of painting a picture of Frank Herbert's vision of the future in my mind. I really could see clearly, so vividly, the world he was creating. And he absolutely knocked it out of the park with that. Knocked it out of the park. And there's so many great images that conjure up in my mind. And my favorite image is Paul's massive throne room that he just sits in and deals with people. and he is like, oh my god, this guy's intimidating, man. And he's such a freaking genius too. And I love his sister Aaliyah as well. The characters in this are so good. The character work is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And this book is not afraid to take risks and introduce plot elements and challenges and things that will permanently alter our characters and the story. And there are some huge things that happen in this book where I'm like, what? No way did that just happen. And it's like, well, they're gonna fix that later, right? Or like, this person's like gonna move on from that. And it's like, no, it's crazy, man. It is so freaking good. And this book is a complete story beginning to end, whereas Dune cuts off right at Paul's ascension to the throne. Like, the second he snatches up that throne, the book cuts off. I think it was a great place to cut it off. If there was no sequel, I wouldn't even be sad. But there's a sequel, and it's great. And this is a full story beginning to end in Paul's journey, and this is absolutely beautiful. And the way the book ends and how Paul's character arc goes, I love what happens with Paul in this book. I think it is so beautiful, and it really, really is telling of who he is as a person, as a character. I loved the ending of this book so much. I thought it was brilliant. Kind of badass, too. Pretty badass, all right? Now, there were some things I didn't understand. Now, first of all, at points, because of the assassination plot, I didn't understand why certain characters who had the ability to couldn't just... I don't get into spoilers about some of the cool races, and some people have certain abilities that allow them to do cool things. And I didn't understand at points, why didn't they just do this to kill Paul, or why didn't they just do this to kill Paul? But then as it went on, it started to make a lot more sense to me. So if you're questioning stuff like that in your head, don't worry. Frank Herbert is 10 steps ahead, and he knows that you're going to be thinking that, and it all works out in the end. But the one thing I didn't understand is, why can't Paul stop the jihad? He's really concerned about, this jihad going on. He's like, and I just feel like Frank Herbert never explained why Paul couldn't stop the jihad, other than simply saying, Paul knew he was helpless to stop it, no matter what he tried. And it's like, I feel like he could if he really did try, but it's just Frank Herbert says he knew he was helpless to stop it, or those who carried out the jihad could not be stopped, no matter what happened. It's like, okay, but why though? Like, you're telling me that it can't be stopped, but I don't understand why it can't be stopped. And I understand how in real life, religious crusadists or terrorists or whoever who are using political motives as a cause for terror, I understand that they think they're doing the Lord's work and they think they're carrying out the will of God and all that stuff. But the thing is, God can't just come down and say, hey, you got it all wrong, man. So I understand why terrorists are doing that, and they think they're right because, they're fucked out of their mind, and that's their interpretation. So people saying, don't do that. They don't care. They care about God, right? They're like, no, God's telling me to do this. This is what the Bible or the Quran or whatever says to do, right? So I understand why those people can't be stopped, because they're fucked. But the thing is, in the Dune universe, Paul can literally just hold a press conference or do whatever and say, hey guys, this jihad thing is really not the will of Paul Atreides Muad'Dib. So cut it the fuck out, or else I'll obliterate you guys. Like, I don't understand why Paul can't just tell his followers who are so loyal, stop this jihad. I don't like it and I don't approve of it. I just don't understand. I'll probably watch the Quinn's Ideas video called Why Couldn't Paul Stop the Jihad? I haven't watched that yet. But I wanted to give my raw thoughts on the book before I pretend like I know what I'm talking about and just recite someone else's ideas for you. All in all, the book friggin' was sick. I loved it so much. Beautiful imagery. And all in all, the book was everything I hoped it would be. And I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. If you liked the first Dune book, you're going to love this one. It just has some pacing issues, but nothing I can't look past. Thanks so much for checking out today's video, guys. And if you like what you see here, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and I am on Patreon, where I do exclusive Patreon content just for you guys. So if you want to support the channel and get some exclusive content, check out the description below. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. See ya! Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take your top of mute.